Hi, my name is James Cook. I'm with the University of Maine at Augusta, and I'm shooting this video today to discuss how, if you have started to get involved as someone who's been creating learning objects on the Maine OSLO.net website, you can begin to curate those learning objects that might include yours, but might be someone else's too, into a course, a sequence of learning objects that leads to some kind of outcome. This is a new feature. It's under development. So what I'm showing you today is how the website works currently. I'm hoping to gussy it up soon, but right now it's fairly basic. To get started, let's take a look at the mainoslo.net website, and up at the top you'll see a link that says chart a course. Let's do that. And you'll notice a form. It's a form in which you're going to describe the course. So for instance, I might say a course is like a path. A path includes learning objects in a sequence, one to the other. So my idea might be to create a course in social networks, the study of mathematical patterns of relationships. So I would call the title social networks. I could give it a different label, just in case the title was really long. I could shorten the label down, and I'm going to want to create a password. Now this password is so that you and only you can edit this course later on. So I'm going to type in the relations matter. And for those of you who are into security, I'll add an X, a pound sign, and a 2 so that it's really hard to get into. I'll have to write this down. And let's enter a vivid description of the course. So I might want to write basically a paragraph that's describing what the course involves. Social networks analysis is the study of patterns of relationships between the nodes, things that communicate, and via ties, the communications. Things that communicate or otherwise relate, I realize, and ties are things that the communications or the relations. Okay, in this course, you will proceed from being an absolute beginner. Notice I'm describing what's required when students come in, to being able, to being able to construct, visualize, and analyze social networks in detail. Now, I'm going to ask you to describe yourself. So I'll enter my name, which is James Cook. My professional title, Assistant Professor of Social Science. I'm going to ask for your institutional affiliation. This is so we can advertise it and people can find you. And your phone number should be your work number. Mine is 621-3190 if you end up having any questions, and my email address, james.m.cook@maine.edu. Okay, so this is a general description of what the substance of the course is, but now we'll hit next and things get interesting. This is the step in which you link learning objects in a course sequence. So I might say social networks basic elements is a prerequisite for the course social networks network distance. I also might say social networks basic elements is, I might say then social networks network distance is a prerequisite for the course horizons of observability, right? So the idea is that I would identify pairs of learning objects and how they would relate to one another, and then I would select next, and I would get a result. And it would tell me that I could print these following for my records, including my password, so that I could get in, and it would describe the basics of my learning object, a set of learning objects and how they relate to one another. then what Maine OSLO will do is it will take a look at that curation, and it will create a path that others can see and follow in a sequence. And they can click on any depending on what they already know and what they need to learn next in order to learn. These courses could include your learning objects, other learning objects, new combinations of lessons put together in perhaps unanticipated ways. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, and that's kind of the idea, that this is something that is the curation is a little bigger than any individual faculty member. I'd really like you to give this a try, and let's see how we can make this work. I look forward to seeing what you can do, and I'll see you online.